We're live now.
Okay.
Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, everyone, wherever you are in place and time. It's good evening for me. And we have with us Patrick Alonso. He is a PYP educator, currently working with Conference International School. And today he is with us to enlighten us about an important aspect of primary years program. Yes, you got it right. It's action in PYP. So let's hear from Patrick. So over to you, Patrick. A very warm welcome to you. Let's get started.
Hi everyone, wherever you are. Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon. I'm so proud to welcome you to this wonderful session as we join together to understand the role, the importance, the ways of taking action in the PYP curriculum. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope we are going to learn together. We are all educators, and we say every day, every hour, every minute, every second, it's a learning time. We learn through out. So allow me to welcome you once again, and let us begin by taking action in the PYP. I understand maybe not all of us are IB educators, but education is everywhere. And we teach almost the same thing, but in different ways. And that's the heart of IB, teaching the same thing in different ways, right? So we are going to start with a short interactive session, and I want you to be free, be true to yourself. Can you write down what motivates you to be an educator or to be a teacher? What is your motivation? Just note down somewhere. What makes you wake up very early in the morning, go to school, prepare your students, encounter all the hardships of the day? You come across very tough students, stubborn students, but still the following day you wake up and go to the same room. What motivates you? Think about it and then write it down somewhere. We're gonna check our choices in the middle of our session. So I will give you 20 seconds to think about that and write down your choice. What motivates you to wake up every morning? Thank you all for joining. Good evening. Hi, hello to you, all of you. Welcome. Right. So I guess now you already have your choices of what motivates you to wake up or to be an educator. So let us try to see from the choices, and also if you are able, you can write on the comment. We can also share together. It's also applicable. My students' integrity, care, empathy toward their teachers. Excellent. Excellent. I love that point. Students' integrity, care, and empathy. Hey, that's so wonderful. Okay, so let's get moving. Let's get moving. So I will share with you the answers. Oh, very good. I love this. My passion for making students independent learner, and impart their lifelong experience. Wonderful. Wonderful. Okay. So let's move to the next thing, that our next activity. I'm going to share a screen with you right away.
You want me to share it, Patrick? Or would you be
Yes.
sharing it? Okay, I would be sharing it. So open here. Is it fine? Can you see it?
Yes, I can see it, miss.
Yes. So just let me know when you want me to change the slide.
Okay, I can share from my side, please.
Okay. Okay. So if you want to share, you can share.
Someone, thank you so much. Okay, so here we go. And this was the question that I posted to you. Why do you take action in the PYP? And this was my first question. What motivates you as an educator? So you are going to look on the few choices that I have. Then you are going to compare with whatever you wrote. Remember, all our answers are correct. Nothing is wrong because this is what motivates you as an educator. So for those who wrote passion, excellent, good job, you are on the track. For those who, I never saw one writing salary, come on, we all want to be paid. Who will want to work for free? Unless you want to do a volunteer job. Career choices, others we wake up because this is our calling, this is our career. We are trained and we want to be in that career. Learner actions. There are others who will wake up because they have seen something in their student that they want to develop. Someone talked about student empathy and the effort to make their future better. And then last, we might have all of the above. Of course, we can have all these as our motives behind our calling as educators. Right. So now next we are going to have a short clip. Pay some attention, and then I'm going to share some photos. And then you can write in the comment as well. You can keep it as a note. I want you to think from this clip and from this video, how can you support such student actions? Assume that these students, they were at your disposition. These students have showed such actions in the course of your learning as an educator, as a teacher, or as an administrator. How can you support such student actions? And lastly, how does it feel like when learners take action? When your students take action, how do you feel like a teacher? How does it feel like when your learners are taking action, right? So we're going to have the video. This was a video recorded in some parts of Kenya.
We can't see the video, Patrick. Video is not
You can see
showing.
the video.
No.
How about now?
Not now. Still not.
Oh. Okay, can you try to share the video from your side, Ms. Asna?
Okay, I will do that.
Fine. So, Ms. Asna, please, can you share the video from your side? Miss Asna, can you hear me? Very good.
Yes. Yeah, it's
Very good.
showing now.
Thank you so much, Miss Asna. Very good. Now I can share from my side, please. Very good. Okay, so you have seen the video. So I'm going to share some more photos. Okay, we still have those photos.
I'm unable to see the photos. Means slides are not changing, Patrick.
They are not
Slides
changing.
same. No, it's still you are on the first slide.
Okay, can you share it from your side
Yes,
then?
now it's changing. Yeah,
Come on.
keep going. It was coming. You want me to share?
How about now?
No, no, it's coming up. Yes,
How about
I can
now?
see it. Yes, I can see it. Change slide. Yeah, keep going.
Okay, fine. Thank you so much. So take a look at these photos as well and think about how you can support such student actions and how you could feel if such actions were coming from your students. We still have more. Okay, fine. I hope you already have your answers with you. Keep them with you. We will share with us at the end of this slideshow. So now let us go back to taking action. You will agree with me as educators or as teachers or as administrators that learner actions form the integral part of the PYP curriculum. There is nothing interesting, there is nothing motivating like when learners start taking action from what you are teaching them as an educator. This one can motivate you even to work without salary. The moment you see that learners are taking whatever you are teaching them and they are putting it into action, this comes as the number one motivation for educators. And that's why we say it forms the integral part of the PYP curriculum. Secondly, the actions which our learners or our students take, it may be during lesson time, or maybe for those who are in IB, it can be during the unit of inquiry or after. They play a key role in enhancing creativity because students want to try several types of actions to make sure that they come up with a meaningful result, as well as creating a firm foundation for community service in the middle years program. Remember, in IB, when our students move from the PYP, they join the MYP program. So it is in MYP where they work with community-based services. So as long as they have a clue, as long as they understand what learner actions means like, they're gonna have a simple time in the MYP, right? So with that in mind, having learned the importance of taking action, this takes us to our next step. So, why do we have to take these actions? Why do students have to take actions? Why can't they just come, learn, and go home? What's the importance of these actions? If you still have some thoughts about it, please, you can write on the comment, why do you think we take actions? You can also take your time, 20 seconds, and write your opinion down, and then we will share together with what I have, and you compare with whatever you have written down on your paper. Why do you think learners or students take action? For what reasons do they take actions? Right. If you compare from what you wrote down, students take action because they want to showcase that they are learning. Whatever you are doing to them, whatever knowledge, skills, values that you are giving to your students, that is what they want to link to their real life issues, to their real life opportunities, and showcase their understanding. What does that mean? Anytime you see a student taking an action, just know that you have done something in the life of this student, and he or she is trying to make a link, to make a connection between whatever you have taught this student, and he or she is connecting this to their real life situation. Let's go back to the video. That was a boy in some remote parts of Kenya. They were learning about science, how to make work easier, and they were learning about the heavy machines, the excavators. So this boy was interested so much in that topic, and when he went home, he created his own excavator from the available materials. What do we call that?
Patrick, we're getting some responses. Mahua
Yes?
Das Gupta says that that's the way they connect to real world issues and bring positive changes. And then we have Sadia saying, we feel positive after taking actions. Action shows that we are taking steps as global citizens. It shows our caring profile and empathy.
Very good. Excellent. Excellent. So, thank you so much for those who are giving us their responses. Feel appreciated. You are very knowledgeable and you are very reflective of whatever we are doing. Thumbs up once again. So let's see the second reason. Why do students take action? Very good. So now, let us focus on the social. When students take action, it helps them to be responsible. And in addition, it helps them to model their behaviors and see from whatever they have, the kind of dispositions they get from these units of inquiry, they develop themselves. Let's say, for example, the boy who was, there's a picture I shared before whereby a certain boy created a whole flat from cartons with an helicopter at the entrance of that flat. What do you think it took that boy to create such a design from scratch, from cartons? It took a lot of responsibility for that boy to create or to showcase such an action. So you find in the same way, when students take action, they are developing their responsibility skills, and they are also developing their dispositions and their behaviors, because action is not about. Remember, as we continue, we are going to see the type of actions, and action can be change of attitude, can be social, it can be a lot. So this is another reason why we need to take action. And thirdly, it enhances collaboration. You know the three pillars of the PYP curriculum: the learner, learning and the teaching, and the learning community. When students take action, they enhance this collaboration, because they are going to cooperate with teachers, they are going to cooperate with parents, and they are going to cooperate with the community. Fourth, we have it develops learners' sense of belonging to local and global communities. Some learners may take action with an aim of creating a solution to an existing problem, maybe from their local school or from their local home ground or local community, extending all the way to global problems. So when learners take such actions to provide solutions, it doesn't matter whatever solution these learners are bringing in. It makes them develop their sense of belonging. They feel attached. They feel that, yes, I have a community and I have somewhere whereby I can feel I am at home when I'm taking my actions. It teaches learners on how to consider issues from multiple perspectives. Excellent. Remember, when learners take action, it doesn't just come out from one perspective. They have to consider, because when you are solving a problem, you have to consider a lot of issues. When you are going to come up with an action as a student, you have to weigh out which is the right way, which is the right decision, and which is the right manner in which I am supposed to take this action. So when you are doing that, you are already considering from multiple perspectives, not only from one perspective. And when we take action, or the other reason why learners take action, it helps them to understand and recognize the interconnectedness and the interdependence of issues, right? Remember, we learned about transdisciplinary in our previous live sessions, and we said that transdisciplinary is whereby we use many disciplines to help our students inquire or learn about a certain discipline. Transdisciplinary, whereby we go beyond, across, and between the disciplines. So in this case, when learners take action, now they will have to see the picture of this transdisciplinarity. They will see how are issues connected and how are they interdependent. And unless they take action, they will never see this coming out. It is through these actions whereby they will understand, oh yes, I see. If I want to make this excavator, I need these materials. So where can I get these materials? I can't produce them on my own. So I need to depend on another person. Interdependence, interconnectedness. So if I make this excavator, I can't use it. So I have to find people to market it. So I have to find a way on how I can make it to the market. So you can't make it alone. So, right. Now we have seen the reasons why learners take action, why we need them to take action. So now this should ring into our mind. Yes, we have taken action, but what kind of action can our students take? And I'll give you around 10 seconds. Also, you can write there on the comment, or as usual, you can still write down on your notebook, on your material that you have. What kind of actions do you think our students can take? You can use the poster, it will help you. What kind of an action can your students take? You can just choose from any of these. There are multiple of them. And that's why I say it is not a must for an action to be in the form of a material, something that is tangible. No. It revolves. It starts all the way from change of behaviors, change of attitude, ability to socialize, ability to be caring. Action include a lot and a lot. It's not only creating materials, as we have seen on the videos. So as you can see from the poster there, it can be, I want to inform people, right? During the outbreak of corona, you saw a lot of posters going around, students trying to create awareness at their local home, wash your hands, sanitize, wear a mask. Action. I want to inform people. Everyone was on TikTok creating videos. Wash your hands. Kida, keep distance. Do this and this. Those are student actions of informing. They can also inform their fellow students, maybe within the same school, or their friends outside the school, or maybe their community. It can be, I want to change my behavior and the choices. Yes. Sometimes you may inquire through a unit with the students, and it can totally change their behavior. Last year in PYP4, we inquired about the unit of culture, and one of the lines of inquiry was accepting that we are different from one another and respecting the difference within ourselves. At the end of this unit, my learners changed their behavior completely. Some who were not open-minded were able to accept the others the way they are, because they found that we are different, and it is our culture that informs our behavior. The way we behave is because of our culture. So with that, they were able to change their behavior. Most of them who were bullies, they fully changed. They even wrote a note, Mister, from today I've learned we are different and I'm supposed to be caring. And today I am going to do this and this. That's an excellent student action. It can be a kind of inspiration whereby a student wants to inspire others to change their behavior and the choices as well. And it can also be they are creating a solution to a problem or they want to improve a certain situation. These are just some kind of actions which I thought they will be good or meaningful to share with you as an educator. Right. Some students may want to build something to understand their topic better. Let's go back to the video. What was that boy doing? He was trying to build his own excavator so that he can understand the topic of science, making work easier. So he wanted to understand the topic better, which was an excellent action. The others, I want to design a solution. Let me take you back to the boy with the house design. Maybe maybe locally in that community where that boy comes from, they have poor housing systems. And so this boy wants to provide a solution. So he comes up with a plan. I need to build this house to be like this and this. I want to design a solution, providing a solution to an existing problem. Right. So in short, what we are saying is there are very many ways in which our learners can take action. So as educators, it's our role, it's our responsibility to open our eyes, to be keen and see the kind of actions which our learners are portraying, and we support them. There is nothing good like supporting a student action. Whenever you support a student action, you have just done something known as motivating. You have motivated that student intrinsically, and that motivation can change the life of that student forever. Forever. Right. So, what can actions be like? We have already talked a little bit about this in the previous poster, so I'll be a bit faster on this. I just summarized that poster so that we can widen our understanding of what an action can be like. So, right, in the comment box, can you tell me, according to you, as an educator, what do you think action can be like? What do you think action can be like in the PYP? Right, so we can keep moving. It can be a change in attitude. We have already talked about that. A consideration or plan for action in the future. Right, I like that point. Most of the student actions will not occur instantly. Most of the student actions will not occur during the lesson or during the unit of inquiry. Put this in your mind. Some actions may even occur several years after the lesson. Maybe a week, a month, 4 years, 10 years. If you don't see an action instantly, don't panic. Take some actions, take time. And that's why you stay, and after some time, if you meet a student whom you were teaching years ago, he says, "Oh, my teacher, how are you? I'm very happy. If it were not for you, I could not be where I am today." Action, action. In mathematics, I am good in language, I am good in science. Action, action. So it's not a must for actions to show up during lesson time. These are ongoing. Right. Next, it can be a demonstration of responsibility. such as respect for self, for others, and the environment. We have talked about that. Social responsibility. A commitment to leading or participating in a youth advocacy group. We are just tackling and giving a summary of the previous poster because the poster had a lot of information. It can be an engagement in school decision.
We have got a wonderful comment. One of the educator wrote that I'm taking action at the age of 45. So I think she's echoing with your thoughts. So yeah, she wrote it. And we're getting wonderful replies. Audience, you are doing an amazing job because you're sharing your thoughts aloud and it's amazing. We can see some wonderful comments.
Thank you so much. Okay, right. Thank you so much for such wonderful comments, and I'm very happy for you. So, can you see that one is taking action at the age of 45? Yeah. And you know the age of PYP is from maximum 11. So 45 minus 11, that will give us a whooping 34 years. Taking action after 34 years. A plan for future. I love that. So it can be an engagement in school decision making or an expression of support in community, local, and global. I think this is self-explanatory, and we have tackled it in creating solutions for problems. Right. So this takes us to the next slide. I decided to share this with you. This is very important. Learners are autonomous in taking action, and they are confident that their actions will be appreciated and supported. Important. Let me explain a bit. As educators, we are supposed to make sure that our learners, they have freedom in taking action. Let them take the actions they want, provided it is within the limits of our student, and provided it does not go against or beyond the school policies or the rules and regulations or the community guidelines. Let them be autonomous and encourage them to be confident. And also, as an educator, don't forget, support, appreciate your learners. By doing this, you will be having 100 and 1,000 reasons to wake up every day and go to that classroom, no matter the situation, because your learners are taking up action and you want to follow, you want to support them. So, there's a poster below. I try to combine learner agency and the taking action, which we discussed in our previous discussion. Right, so we're gonna go next.
Patrick, are you changing the slides?
Yes.
We can't see the slides changing. It is on slide number 3.
Okay. The slides are not changing?
No, it's on slide number 3, the previous slide.
Okay. How about now?
Not changing.
How about now?
No.
Okay, fine. I'm going to share it once again. Okay, can you see it now?
Yes, I can see it. It is, yeah. How does it happen?
Okay. So now let us go to our next slide. This was how does it happen? We have already talked about this. These are the forms, and we are saying learner actions may take many forms depending on individual development, important. Learning engagements, important. The interest of the students, important. And the experiences that you as an educator and your students, you are having in the classroom. So learner actions can take many forms depending on these issues, individual development. The way a KG1 student will take an action is not the same way a PYP5 student will take an action. These are two learners with different development, within different development stages, different learning engagements, different interests, and different experiences. So it can be short or long. We have talked about that. It doesn't have to appear during the lesson. It can be revisited or ongoing. I love this point. Learners can keep on revisiting the same action over and over again. And why will they revisit? To make a change, to renovate, or to make it better. And then we have, it can be individual or collective. It can be for one student, it can be for more students, it can be small or large scale, and may take place at home, important, at school, or in local and global communities, important. Not every action will occur at school. Not every action that will occur at the walls of the classroom. Some actions will occur at home, and that is where you parents come back and they saw, oh, my student now, when he comes back, he is doing the homework, he takes books, he reads, he's changing. Action. Some actions may not always be visible or immediately give an impact to you as an educator, since they might appear in the form of impressions left on students or smaller things that go unnoticed because they are part of the daily life of the learning community. I love this point. Some of the actions, they may appear every day until we as an educators, we start thinking that, oh, these are part of our daily life. These are normal. As an educator, every action is not normal. You need to support, you need to appreciate, even if it happens daily. My fellow educators, let us appreciate, let us support. Even if it comes after 45 years, let us appreciate, let us support that. Right. So that's just some photos to help you understand personal and collaborative. One student on his or her own, and the others can be working as a group. Then student-initiated action will be considered a dynamic outcome of agency. You connected this last time when you were talking about learner agency. And so this also appear when we are taking student action. Social justice, these issues relating to equality, social well-being, justice. When students are practicing these ones, they are also taking action. So don't say, oh, this is part of learner agency. No, this is part of lifestyle. It's normal. That's student action. We need to appreciate. We need to support our students. We need to encourage them in whichever way we can as educators. Right, so you have some photos of students taking action. This is also back in Kenya. They were inquiring about plants and how they grow. And so they took action of planting some plants in sacks within the school compound. So you can see the outcome. It was a very wonderful action at its best. They were even amazed to see the outcome of these actions they took from their science lesson. We still have more. You can see the way they had a big harvest. These are PYP5 students taking action. Action at its best. There's nothing I love like this. So, we are almost winding up. So we as educators, how can we support student action? And I want to summarize this. I put this into 5 groups. We can support student actions in 3 main categories. Category number 1, through use of materials, through use of our learning spaces, through use of interactions, through use of relations, and last category, through the use of time. You can see everything there on the screen. For example, I want to talk a bit about the materials because this is a central and important part of the teachers and the space. So, if you are able to answer 3 or 5 questions, there are questions on the screen. If you are able to answer 3 or 5 questions, my dear and my colleague educators, you are doing a good job. You are taking action and your students to take action. If you can answer 3 questions, you are good to go. If you can answer 1, don't panic. You have all the opportunity now to make sure by tomorrow you can answer more than that. So don't panic. If you can't answer anything, don't panic. You can use the materials to help you support your student action. So right, with materials, do your learners have choices when it comes? Just go find the materials and bring them to the students. Students must have choices, learner agency, choice, ownership. Let them come with the materials or let them be part of the decision making of what materials they want to use to inquire a certain topic. Point number 2, or question number 2. Do you guide learners when using tools and the materials that may be unfamiliar to them? It's a very typical and a critical question because not all the materials are familiar to our learners. How do you go through that process? Do learners know how to use and care for a variety of materials, resources? Do they just use them because they have them? Or do they use them because they want to learn through the materials? Number 2, on the spaces, this is very important. Ask yourself, do all learners have ownership of the learning space? Who organizes the classroom? Do you go to the classroom very early and arrange the desk and everything? Or do you wait for your students to come and then tell them, okay, right, students, today let us organize our learning space. How are we going to organize it? Let them be part of it so that they can feel a sense of belonging and that they can be free to take whatever kind of action. 2, who plans how the learning space will be organized? Give learners the opportunity to organize their learning spaces. If you have a library, let them decide where they want it to be. If you have a music room, let the learners organize it the way they want it to be. And with this, you are supporting action. This is very important. Do your learning space cater for different learning needs? Remember, in PYP we have differentiation. How do you cater for different learners in your classroom? Do you treat your learners like they are all the same? or you see different people, different learners who have different learning abilities. Remember, as an educator, or the core of the PYP or of the IB, we believe that every student has something special they can bring into classroom. Therefore, it is the role of us educators to help these students develop fully. Every student has something. Never be cheated by someone like, this student cannot do anything. No. Every student has something special to bring out during the learning experiences. Think about it and reflect with your students. You'll find whatever I'm telling you is very correct. So, interactions. Who is in your learning space? Who is talking? Who is listening? Do you have essential agreements as learners? Or it just happens? Who wants to talk? Who wants to listen? How are your essential agreements with your students as an educator? How are you making your decisions? Are you involving your learners? How are you grouping them? And how do you support learner actions? Do you just ignore? Do you just tell them well? Do you just say excellent without any further action? These are the questions we should ask ourselves as educators. Then on the side of relationships and the time, let me talk about time because I can see we don't have much time. How have you structured your day? How have you planned your day as an educator? Do you just pop in the classroom without a plan for your day, without a plan for your activities? You just there and take the book or take the topic and start teaching? Ask yourself, how can I as an educator do less and create time for more? It's a tricky question. How can we do less and create time for more? Do your learners have time to revisit their ideas, or after you finish a unit of inquiry, you close everything? Do you let them to revisit the ideas they have and also see back and see what they can change? Relationships. How do your learners support each other? Who owns the learning? And who is the community and the family? How is the community and the family involved in the learning? How are subject teachers supporting action through integrations? And lastly but not least, how are you doing your integration with your subject teachers? Because action can come out in any subject, not necessarily to be in the units of inquiry. So how are the other teachers supporting such actions? And when the actions happen, are they sharing with you as an homeroom teacher? And if they happen, are they supporting such actions? Right, thank you. So this is just a summary of what we have learned. So we have acknowledging the various forms of action, helping students connect action with live personal experience. I just summarized the poster that we have just looked at. So we go to our reflection. Let's reflect. What can you apply or not apply in your classroom as an educator from whatever we have learned today? And the second question, how can the learner profiles be connected to learner actions? How can we use learner profiles to support learner actions? Give us your feedback, give us your views in the comment box. Back to you, Miss.
Thank you, Patrick. It was an awesome session, and you gave some great thought provoking ideas. And I love the way your students are taking action, especially the action which are there, the authentic action, like for the existing problems. And I was so happy to see, students growing plants. That is very important. And I love the way you discussed about how can we support as educator, we can support the action, and that that can act as a checklist. What are the ways we can support action? And I love the way you correlated the action with our motivation, and you said it very rightly that yes, action is something which actually motivates us. It acts as an intrinsic motivation. We can count on those days when students are taking action, and action is very simple. If they're actually learning, they're bound to change their behaviors, they're bound to change their learning, and they need to develop their enduring understanding. And if that is happening, yes, action is something which is a sure short thing that's going to be happening. So amazing. And you give us a way to move back and forth in our PYP journey to think about, yes, are we really taking the action? So amazing, insights from your end. And I can see some wonderful comments from the audience. They are actually, appreciating you like anything. Mahua Das Gupta wrote, yes, the session was really helpful. Yes, we all are struggling to keep fit and engaged, so it will be a challenge to guide them towards, yes. Yeah. Amazing. And one more thing that you made it very obvious for us, that action need not to be close and shut thing. They need to revisit it. If it is an authentic action, yes, they will surely try to innovate it or make it more better. And I really love the entire session. And from my end, I can give you a small token of appreciation. That is the only thing which we can give you after this fabulous session. I think you can see a certificate coming on. Yes, so this is from all of us, Patrick. Thank you so much for being so generous, taking out time, sharing things with us which you're passionate about. So I really appreciate all your hard work. Could you see the certificate? Because for me it was blank. This is the issue with, yeah. So yeah, again, yeah, the chat is actually full of appreciation for you. So it was really an amazing session, and you should pat your back and do hip hip hooray. It was amazing, and he was, he voluntarily accepted this invitation, and he shared all the good thing which he is doing, and I could see what motivates you to share all those things, because you're highly motivated about students' action. So amazing. And yeah, so now for the audience, I have the exit ticket. Please do fill this form, which is coming right away in the chat box. Fill the form, and you will get your certificate in no time. It's an instant one today. All right, thank you so much. And participants, you were fabulous. I learned a lot about how you are taking actions. And yeah, this was just an interactive session so that we can share our best practices. And I could learn a lot about your best practices while I was consistently reading the chat, and it was amazing. And I hope we all have collaboratively developed a better understanding of taking action, because action is such an important aspect of PYP. Thank you so much, Patrick. Thank you so much, dear audience. We will be coming back with one more engaging and amazing session very soon, probably next week. So thank you so much. Have a nice day. Have a great day ahead. Thank you. Bye-bye. Take care.